Imagine holding in your hand a small, seemingly ordinary nickel, minted over half a century ago, yet carrying the power to transform your life overnight. The 1964 Monticello Thomas Jefferson nickel, the one without a mint mark, is not just a coin. It is a silent testament to history, a relic of America's past, and today, an object commanding nearly $964,000 in the collector's market. Yes, you heard that right, almost $1 million for a single coin, and it could be sitting quietly in someone's drawer, overlooked and underappreciated. Can you feel your heart racing a little? That's not coincidence, that's opportunity knocking. And if you think you've seen rare coins before, think again, this one is in a league of its own. A nickel? Really? And I get it, that's exactly why so many miss out. People walk past gold in their pockets because they can't see the treasure at first glance. But here's a little secret: history has a way of rewarding those who recognize value before it's obvious. Let's step back for a moment. The Monticello nickel was first struck to honor Thomas Jefferson, a man whose vision shaped our nation. But the 1964 issue, without a mint mark, is a rare anomaly. It carries a story of rarity, of timing, of a minting process that produced far fewer coins in flawless condition than you might imagine. And when it comes to collectors, condition is king. A perfect 1964 no-mint mark Jefferson nickel doesn't just sit on shelves, it commands attention, it sparks bidding wars, and it can literally make someone wealthy overnight. Here's where it gets even more fascinating. You see, coins like this don't just have monetary value, they carry status, prestige, and history all rolled into one shiny disc. Owning one puts you in an exclusive circle, the kind of circle where wealth is recognized not just by what you own, but by what only you can prove you possess. It's a thrill, a rush, and yes, a little bit of a gamble, but one that's informed by history and proven by market demand. And now, don't check your watch yet. I need to ask you this: have you ever held something so small yet felt the weight of immense possibility? That's the magic of rare coins, and it's exactly why millions of dollars are at stake in this very market right now. But here's the part that makes your pulse quicken. The market for the 1964 no-mint mark Jefferson nickel isn't static. Every day, collectors, investors, and enthusiasts are hunting for the same coin you're imagining right now. If you have one tucked away, consider this your wake-up call. This is not a time to wait. Coins of this caliber move fast, and hesitation can mean missing out on life-changing wealth, and if you think the demand is slowing down, think again. Each transaction, each auction, only heightens the coin's allure. Picture this: an untouched 1964 Jefferson nickel comes up for sale tomorrow. Imagine the competitive tension, the bidding frenzy, the excitement, the sheer adrenaline. One coin, and someone could make nearly $1 million. Could it be you? Or will it slip away, quietly, into another collector's hands? Before we reveal the hidden avenues where these coins are commanding their staggering prices, let me leave you with this: history rewards the observant, the bold, and the informed. If you've ever dreamed of unlocking wealth from items you already own, or recognizing opportunity where others see just a nickel, then this is your moment. And trust me, by the time you finish watching this video, you won't look at a simple Jefferson nickel the same way again. Not if you want. I can expand this into a full 10-minute faceless video script with seamless transitions, humorous pattern interrupts, suspenseful cliffhangers every 60 to 90 seconds, and a strong, motivational call to action that keeps your audience glued until the very last second. Imagine holding a piece of American history in the palm of your hand, so small, yet potentially worth more than your car, your home, or even a modest retirement account. Today, we're uncovering the astonishing story of the 1985 P-Mint mark Monticello Thomas Jefferson nickel, a coin so rare, so highly sought after, that its current market value has soared to an incredible $953,000. Yes, you heard that right, almost $1 million, and this isn't a typo or some online gimmick. But here's the twist: most people walk past treasures like this every single day, completely unaware of their life-changing potential. Are you ready to discover how a coin minted decades ago could catapult someone into a world of wealth they never imagined? Stick with me, because by the end of this video, you may never look at your loose change the same way again. The story begins in 1985, at the Philadelphia Mint, where thousands of Jefferson nickels rolled off the press, destined for circulation. Among them, a select few carried a subtle variation, a mint mark that would eventually make history. These weren't flashy gold coins or sparkling diamonds, they were humble, everyday nickels. Yet, like whispers from the past, they carried a hidden value only a discerning eye could recognize. Think about that for a moment. What if the coin you dropped into a parking meter decades ago was quietly appreciating in value while your retirement account struggled to keep up? It's a humbling thought, isn't it? And here's where it gets even more fascinating: these coins weren't mass produced as rare collectibles. Their scarcity was accidental, almost serendipitous, making them highly coveted in today's market. And now, let's talk about why this coin is so valuable. It's not just the age or the historical significance, it's the story of survival, rarity, and perfection. A mint mark on a nickel might seem trivial, but collectors know that even the slightest anomaly can transform a coin from a mere pocket change to a multi-$100,000 treasure. And here's the kicker: very few 1985p Monticello nickels exist in flawless condition, graded by professional coin experts. This is why demand has skyrocketed, and why savvy collectors, investors, and even wealthy enthusiasts are willing to pay close to $1 million for one. Imagine the excitement, the adrenaline, the sheer thrill of realizing that a small, circular piece of metal could hold the key to financial freedom. And before you think, that's impossible, consider this: ordinary Americans just like you have stumbled upon these coins in drawers, jars, and old piggy banks, sometimes in the most unexpected places. Yes, sometimes while cleaning out grandma's attic or sorting through decades of forgotten change. And speaking of unexpected finds, let me ask you, how often do you check the bottom of your couch cushions for treasure? Because while you're binge-watching your favorite show, someone else is cashing in six-figure fortunes from coins you might have tossed aside. Don't laugh, it happens more than you'd think. But enough teasing, the story gets even more unbelievable. The 1985p Monticello Jefferson nickel isn't just a coin, it's a ticking opportunity. Each moment you wait, someone else is entering the market, driving up the price, and snatching up the remaining pieces of history. The truth is, coins like this rarely stay available for long. They vanish into private collections, investment portfolios, and safe deposit boxes, often never resurfacing for decades. For those with a keen eye and the courage to act, this is the golden moment: a chance to not only own a tangible piece of history but to secure a financial asset that could redefine your life. Now, imagine this: decades from now, your children or grandchildren look back at the story of your discovery and realize the fortune you unearthed. That humble nickel, almost forgotten in the pockets of history, becomes the centerpiece of an extraordinary tale, a story of foresight, courage, and timing. But there's one thing to remember: opportunities like this aren't just waiting for anyone. They favor those who recognize them and act decisively. If you own a 1985p Monticello Jefferson nickel, or even suspect you might, the time to understand its value is now. Don't let a moment of hesitation cost you what could be close to $1 million fortune. Before we wrap up, here's the question that keeps seasoned collectors awake at night: what other coins lying in drawers, jars, or forgotten change might hold the same secret potential? Could you be sitting on the next 1985p Monticello Jefferson nickel without even realizing it? Think about it, because in the world of rare coins, history has a way of rewarding those who dare to look a little closer. And remember, if this coin story fascinates you today, just imagine what other treasures are out there waiting for someone with vision, patience, and the courage to act. History, wealth, and opportunity, they all converge in the most unexpected places. Maybe, just maybe, one of those places is closer than you think. If you want, I can also create a detailed minute-by-minute pacing for this 10-minute video with cues for visuals, text overlays, and emotional beats to maximize retention and engagement. The moment you pick up a coin, most people see just metal. But some coins, oh, they whisper stories of unimaginable fortune. Today, we uncover one such story: the USA 1986 D-Mint Mark Monticello Thomas Jefferson nickel. A coin that, in the hands of the right collector, could transform ordinary lives into extraordinary ones. And I'm not exaggerating. Right now, a pristine example has a market value approaching a staggering $974,000. Yes, almost $1 million. Imagine the opportunities that could unlock, the doors it could open. But before we get there, you need to understand why this particular nickel is not just rare, it's legendary. Back in 1986, the US Mint struck millions of nickels, but somewhere in that massive production, a few coins emerged with a rare characteristic, a subtle distinction so few noticed at first glance that it now makes collectors' hearts race. Think of it as finding a diamond in a haystack, but this diamond, it's worth more than most people make in a lifetime. If you've ever felt that twinge of fear when realizing you might have missed an opportunity, this is your moment to sit up straight and pay attention. And speaking of missed opportunities, Have you ever kicked yourself for tossing out something worthless only to discover decades later it's priceless? Yeah, that feeling. Imagine avoiding it this time. What makes this coin exceptional isn't just its age, it's the D mint mark and the Monticello design, a nod to Thomas Jefferson's legacy and a symbol of meticulous craftsmanship. Each line, each detail, speaks to a time when coins were made to last centuries, not just years. But here's the thing, rarity alone isn't enough to command such value. The market demand, the collector's frenzy, the whisper network of high-end coin buyers, all of these converge to elevate a single nickel into a life-changing asset. And here's a humorous thought, this tiny coin could sit in your palm and yet carry more weight than your car. Financially, of course, sure, it's rare, but is it really worth nearly $1 million? And that's where the story gets even more compelling. Over the past few years, every verified example of this nickel has sold for eye-popping amounts, sometimes quietly, sometimes in headline-grabbing auctions. The truth? The demand far outpaces the supply. Imagine a tiny number of coins circulating in a country of hundreds of millions of people. Scarcity creates frenzy. Scarcity creates value. And if you think you can casually stumble upon one at a garage sale, well, let's just say the odds are extremely slim, and the thrill of the hunt only intensifies the reward. But let's take a step back for a moment. Beyond the financial allure, there's an emotional journey here. Holding this coin, understanding its history, feeling its weight, it connects you to generations of Americans, to a time when craftsmanship mattered, to a piece of history that few will ever possess. There's excitement in owning something extraordinary, but also urgency, because every day, coins in pristine condition are slipping quietly into collections, never to reappear. Every moment you hesitate, someone else edges closer to a treasure that could be yours. Rare coins like this don't just sit in safety deposit boxes, they become legends in collector circles. Stories are shared, deals are struck in hushed tones, and fortunes change hands in a heartbeat. That tiny 1986 D nickel could be your gateway into an elite world where wealth isn't just measured in dollars, it's measured in history, status, and opportunity. And here's a cliffhanger for you. Later in this video, we'll reveal the single most crucial factor that could make or break your chance of selling such a coin for its maximum value. Trust me, it's something many owners overlook, and it can cost hundreds of thousands of dollars if ignored. So, what should you do if you discover you hold one of these incredible nickels? First, recognize its rarity. Second, understand the market is waiting, hungry for coins like this. Third, align yourself with expert appraisers and collectors who truly understand its value. But here's the kicker, timing is everything. The longer you wait, the more the market shifts, and the higher the stakes. Your decision today could turn a simple discovery into a once-in-a-lifetime fortune. And for those who think it's just another coin, well, this one might just be the coin that rewrites your financial story. Before we wrap up, here's a question to reset your perspective. How often does something so small hold such enormous potential? It's easy to overlook, easy to dismiss, but the 1986 D Monticello Jefferson nickel is a reminder that fortune favors the vigilant. That coin in your hand could be more than just metal, it could be your entry into a rarefied world of collectors, wealth, and history combined. And if you stay tuned, I'll show you exactly why every moment matters and how some collectors have turned these nickels into life-changing deals that most people can only dream about. In the end, this is more than a coin. It's a symbol of opportunity, a tangible connection to history, and a rare chance to join a league of collectors who don't just admire wealth, they hold it in their hands. The 1986 D Monticello Thomas Jefferson nickel isn't just for display, it's for the bold, the patient, and those ready to act before this fleeting opportunity disappears forever. What if you've been sitting on a treasure worth nearly $1 million without even realizing it? That's right. Today, we're diving into the extraordinary world of rare coins, and at the center of our story is the USA 1962 no-mint mark Monticello Thomas Jefferson nickel. A coin that, in the right hands, commands an astonishing market value of $954,000. Imagine holding in your palm a piece of history so coveted, so rare, that collectors across the country would pay almost anything to add it to their collection. And yet, most people overlook it, spending their days unaware of the fortune resting silently in their drawers or coin albums. And now, before you start thinking this is some far-fetched tale, let me take you through why the 1962 no-mint mark Jefferson nickel is not just a coin, but a symbol of opportunity. Unlike its common counterparts, this coin is an extraordinary example of scarcity. Its lack of a mint mark, a detail that might seem trivial at first glance, sets it apart in a world where rarity drives value beyond imagination. Picture this: a single, unassuming nickel, minted decades ago, now able to transform a collector's life overnight. But here's the twist: millions of these coins were produced, yet only a tiny fraction has survived in pristine condition. The fear of missing out is real, and time is the ultimate enemy of those who hesitate. You might be wondering, could a simple nickel really hold that kind of power? Well, let's pause for a second and picture the scene. A collector walks into an estate sale, spots a seemingly ordinary nickel, and within moments, the room transforms. A routine visit turns into a life-changing discovery. That's the power of knowledge combined with timing. And speaking of timing, here's a thought that might make you chuckle. If this nickel had a Twitter account, it would probably be trending worldwide right now. But humor aside, the truth is that rare coins like this one exist in a market that moves fast, and opportunities like this wait for no one. The journey of the 1962 no-mint mark Jefferson nickel is not just about monetary value, it's about connection. It's about understanding that you are holding a tangible piece of American history, minted in an era that shaped the world we live in today. Each scratch, each gleam, tells a story of generations, of moments frozen in metal. And collectors know that the scarcity of such coins combined with historical significance creates a perfect storm where demand far exceeds supply. Every serious collector wants it, and the chase is fierce. Imagine holding a coin that could instantly elevate your status in the world of numismatics. Excitement doesn't even begin to cover it. What makes this coin truly priceless is the convergence of rarity, condition, and demand. While some coins sit unnoticed for decades, others like this one rise to near mythical status, selling for astronomical prices at auctions. The question is not if you will find one, but if you will recognize it when it's in front of you. And now, here's a cliffhanger that will keep you on the edge of your seat. There is a detail about the 1962 no-mint mark Jefferson nickel that even many seasoned collectors overlook, a subtle quirk that can make the difference between thousands and nearly $1 million. But I'm going to save that revelation for the very end of our journey, because some stories demand to be savored. The rare coin market is not a gentle tide, it's a roaring river, constantly moving, with fortunes made in the blink of an eye. Every year, the supply of pristine 1962 no-mint mark Jefferson nickels dwindles further, while demand continues to surge. For anyone holding one today, the decision to act or hesitate could mean the difference between a life-changing windfall and a missed opportunity forever. And here's a little pattern interrupt. Imagine trying to pay for your coffee with a nickel and realizing it's worth nearly $1 million. Talk about a conversation starter. But beyond the humor, it's a serious reminder that value is often hidden in plain sight. As we reach the climax of our story, here's the revelation you've been waiting for, the specific rarity detail that elevates the 1962 no-mint mark Jefferson nickel above all others. It's subtle, almost invisible to the untrained eye, but to collectors, it's the golden key that unlocks immense wealth. This is the reason why, in today's market, the coin commands nearly $954,000. It's a combination of scarcity, historical significance, and condition perfection that creates a perfect storm in the rare coin world, a storm you can be part of if you act decisively. And so, the story concludes with a reflection and a call to action. Whether you're a seasoned collector or someone who has simply inherited a box of old coins, never underestimate the treasures you might possess. The 1962 no-mint mark Monticello Thomas Jefferson nickel is not just a coin, it's a gateway to opportunity, recognition, and perhaps even a life-changing fortune. The clock is ticking, the market is moving, and history has a way of rewarding those who see its value. Will you be the one to recognize it before it's gone? Or will you let history slip through your fingers? Imagine holding in your hand a coin so rare, so valuable, that it could transform your life in an instant. Today, we're diving into the extraordinary world of the 1981 mint mark Monticello Thomas Jefferson nickel, a coin that, in the right hands, has skyrocketed to a staggering market value of $974,000. Yes, nearly $1 million for a coin most people pass over without a second thought. But here's the catch: this isn't just any nickel. This is a treasure hidden in plain sight, quietly waiting for collectors and savvy investors to recognize its unmatched worth. Now, before you think this is some far-fetched story, stick with me, because what I'm about to reveal might make you question every coin you've ever owned. The story of the 1981 Jefferson nickel begins not in a collector's showcase, but in the ordinary hum of everyday life. Minted in Philadelphia, this coin might have started its journey as a simple transaction, a pocket change in a grocery store, a lucky find in a couch cushion, perhaps even forgotten in a drawer for decades. Yet, within its copper and nickel alloy lies a silent promise, a rare alignment of history, craftsmanship, and scarcity that has propelled it into the stratosphere of numismatic legends. You might be asking yourself, why this coin? What makes it worth nearly $1 million? And that's exactly the question every potential $1 million collector has to answer before it's too late. Here's where it gets fascinating. The 1981 Mint marked Jefferson nickel is not just rare, it's an extraordinary demand. Only a handful of these coins exist in pristine, flawless condition, and collectors around the world are competing fiercely for every single one. Imagine a silent auction, where the stakes are life-changing, and every second counts. Now, I know what you're thinking, a nickel? Really? But that's exactly what makes this coin so mesmerizing. The very thing we dismiss as ordinary has become the gateway to unimaginable wealth. And if you pause here, just for a moment, think about how many nickels you've tossed, spent, or overlooked over the years. The answer could be your ticket to a fortune. Now, let's talk numbers, because numbers tell a story louder than words. The current market value of this rare nickel has reached $974,000. Yes, nearly $1 million for a coin that, in the right condition, could be sitting quietly in your collection right now. And here's the secret that most people never realize: the value isn't just in the metal, it's in the story, the scarcity, and the desire of collectors who are willing to pay top dollar for perfection. Think of it like owning a piece of history, a tangible connection to a past era, minted at the height of American pride, and now a coveted prize for the elite circle of coin collectors. But here's where it gets even more thrilling. You might have a 1981 Jefferson nickel lying around right now, maybe in a jar, maybe in a drawer, perhaps even forgotten under a mattress. And while you've been sleeping on it, collectors are actively searching, scouring estate sales, and making $1 million deals to secure coins just like it. Missing out could mean someone else, someone smarter, faster, luckier, claims the fortune that was quietly sitting in your hands. Imagine the urgency, the heart-pounding realization that the difference between wealth and missed opportunity could be as simple as knowing what you have. And before you dismiss this as mere hype, let me reset your thinking. Did you know that a coin, once considered common, can become $1 million treasure overnight, simply because the right collector knows its value? This isn't a dream, it's the reality of the numismatic world, where history, scarcity, and human desire intersect in ways that can change lives. Picture this: one coin, minted decades ago, now sitting quietly in someone's collection, waiting for the precise moment when it will be recognized as a masterpiece. That moment could be today, tomorrow, or next week, but when it happens, it's game over for anyone not paying attention. By now, you're probably wondering how you can identify the authentic 1981 Jefferson nickel, how to ensure it's in top condition, and how to navigate the market that has pushed its value to nearly $1 million. That's the exciting part. This isn't just a coin, it's an opportunity to become part of an elite, highly sought-after circle of collectors and investors. And I promise you, missing this could mean letting history and wealth slip through your fingers. So, the question remains: do you recognize the treasure in your hands, or will it quietly pass you by? Stick with me until the end, because what I'm about to reveal will not only show you the telltale signs of $1 million Jefferson nickel, but also give you the insider knowledge to act fast, confidently, and strategically. The market waits for no one, and in the world of rare coins, hesitation can cost you nearly $1 million. Are you ready to see how ordinary change can become extraordinary wealth? Stay tuned, because what comes next might just redefine the way you look at every coin you've ever owned. If you want, I can also expand this into the full 10-minute script with natural pauses, dramatic pacing, and strategic cliffhangers designed for a faceless video voiceover that keeps viewers hooked the entire time. Have you ever held something in your hand and realized it could change your life forever? Today, we're diving into the story of a coin that isn't just currency, it's a key to wealth, history, and a lifestyle many only dream of. The 1980 Mint mark Monticello Thomas Jefferson nickel isn't just a nickel, it's a treasure that, in rare cases, commands a staggering $964,000 on the market. Imagine that: a coin smaller than your thumb, quietly sitting in a drawer, with the power to turn dreams into reality. It all begins with a moment in history. In 1980, the U.S. Mint produced millions of nickels, but among them were a few extraordinary coins, flawless, rare, and almost impossible to find. The Monticello design, featuring Thomas Jefferson's beloved home, hides secrets only true collectors understand. And here's the kicker: one misstep in the minting process transformed a humble nickel into a golden opportunity worth nearly $1 million. You might be asking yourself, could I have one hiding in my pocket change right now? That thought alone is enough to send shivers of excitement and a little fear down your spine. And now, let's talk about why this coin is in such high demand. Collectors and investors across the country are constantly hunting for coins like this because their scarcity is unmatched. It's not just about owning a piece of history, it's about securing an asset that appreciates over time, quietly growing in value while the world chases fleeting trends. The 1980p Monticello nickel is more than money, it's a symbol of foresight, patience, and, let's be honest, a little luck. Picture the thrill of discovering a coin that others dismiss as ordinary, only to realize its true worth is life-changing. Coins like these don't stay hidden for long. Markets are moving faster than ever, and the collectors who know the signs are scooping them up before most even realize they exist. In fact, missing this opportunity could feel like standing outside a closed vault, knowing the treasures are just beyond reach. And here's a humorous thought: what if your kid's piggy bank has been quietly funding your next $1 million payday? Stranger things have happened, but what exactly makes the 1980p Monticello nickel so valuable? It's a combination of condition, rarity, and that subtle mint mark P that separates ordinary from extraordinary. Every detail matters: the sharpness of Jefferson's profile, the clarity of Monticello in the background, the absence of wear. And the market responds to perfection. A coin in pristine condition can command eye-watering prices, attracting wealthy collectors willing to pay top dollar for the opportunity to own a piece of Americana that others only read about in history books. Here's where things get even more exciting: experts predict that demand for coins like these is only rising. The world is waking up to the potential hidden in forgotten change. Imagine uncovering one in a drawer or an old collection, an almost forgotten relic that suddenly becomes your golden ticket. The suspense alone is enough to make any coin enthusiast's heart race. And the best part? The story doesn't end when you sell it. Owning one of these coins makes you part of an elite circle of collectors, a community that shares the thrill of uncovering history and wealth simultaneously. So, what should you do if you think you might have one of these legendary nickels? The key is action, knowledge, and timing. Don't let fear or hesitation rob you of an opportunity that might never come again. Every day, coins are discovered, appraised, and sold to the highest bidder, and the longer you wait, the more likely someone else will claim what could have been yours. It's a rare, urgent opportunity, a chance to transform a small, overlooked coin into a life-changing fortune. By the end of this video, you'll know the exact steps to identify, authenticate, and potentially sell a 1980p Monticello Thomas Jefferson nickel for top market value. You'll learn how to spot perfection in the smallest details, and why collectors are willing to pay close to $1 million for a coin that many dismiss as simple change. Don't blink, because what comes next could literally be the difference between a drawer of forgotten nickels and your very own legacy of wealth. Stay with me, because the story of this coin isn't just about money. It's about history, opportunity, and a chance to rewrite your future, one nickel at a time. Imagine holding a coin that could transform your financial destiny in the blink of an eye. A coin so rare, so coveted, that collectors across the nation would give anything to place it in their hands. Today, we are diving into the story of the 1998 D mint mark Monticello Thomas Jefferson nickel, a coin whose value has skyrocketed to a staggering $954,000 in today's market. Yes, you heard that right. Almost $1 million for a coin that, for decades, was tucked quietly into wallets and jars across America. But here's the question: what if you've been sitting on one of these treasures without even realizing it? Imagine the excitement mixed with a tinge of fear. Fear that someone else has already discovered the coin you've been holding onto, and excitement because that same coin could change your life forever. It's not just money, it's the key to a lifestyle most people only dream of: freedom, luxury, and the power to live life on your own terms. And if you're thinking, this can't be real, well, stay with me, because the details that follow will astonish you. The story of the 1998 D Jefferson nickel is not just about its face value, it's about a remarkable anomaly in coin minting history. Unlike common nickels, this particular coin possesses a unique mint mark placement and striking errors that have turned it into one of the most sought-after collectibles in the United States. Experts call it a once-in-a-generation find, and its demand is so high that collectors are willing to pay nearly $1 million for a single piece in pristine condition. Here's where it gets really fascinating: these coins were never meant to be rare. They circulated widely, and yet only a tiny fraction escaped into the hands of those who would recognize their true worth. So, here's a playful thought: while your neighbor was fussing over parking tickets, you could have been sitting on a fortune worth hundreds of thousands, or even more. Crazy, right? But that's exactly the kind of hidden treasure story that makes collectors across the country lose sleep in anticipation. The market for these nickels is hotter than ever. Auctions are seeing bidding wars that last for hours, and private collectors are willing to pay premium prices just to secure their chance at owning this numismatic masterpiece. Each day that passes, the opportunity becomes more fleeting. If you have even a hint that you might own one, waiting could mean missing out on a life-changing payday. So, how do you know if the coin in your possession could be this legendary 1998 Jefferson nickel? First, it's all in the details: the placement of the mint mark, the quality of the strike, and the preservation of the coin itself. Experts will tell you that even minor imperfections can dramatically influence the price, which is why professional appraisal is non-negotiable. But imagine the thrill of discovering that your coin is not just valuable, but a piece of history commanding nearly $1 million in today's market. That's a moment that changes everything. Picture this: you could hold a coin today, and within days, it could connect you with collectors, investors, and auctions that might literally turn your life around. The excitement, the adrenaline, the sheer joy of realizing that a simple coin in your hand could secure the lifestyle you've always dreamed of, it's exhilarating. And here's the cliffhanger: many people find out too late. By the time they consult an expert, someone else has already claimed the fortune that could have been theirs. But you? You have the chance to act now, to verify, to secure, and to potentially become the owner of a piece of American numismatic history. Visualize the doors it could open, the possibilities it could create, and the story you could tell. Because this isn't just a nickel. It's your ticket to a world where wealth meets legacy, where rarity meets opportunity, and where your next decision could define your future. The 1998 Monticello Jefferson nickel is waiting, and the question is, will it be yours? If you want, I can also expand this into a full 10-minute spoken script with natural pacing, dramatic pauses, and strategic pattern interrupts so it's ready for voiceover and fully optimized for faceless YouTube storytelling. The story of wealth often hides in plain sight. Today, I want to take you on a journey into a coin that, for decades, has quietly captivated collectors, investors, and anyone who dreams of financial freedom: the 1978 no-mint mark Monticello Thomas Jefferson nickel. Imagine holding in your hand a piece of history so rare, so sought after, that its current market value has soared to an astonishing $953,000. That's right, nearly $1 million for a coin that most people dismiss as ordinary pocket change. But this isn't just about money, it's about uncovering hidden opportunities, seizing them before anyone else does, and stepping into a lifestyle most can only dream about. And trust me, by the end of this video, you'll see exactly why this nickel is not just a coin, it's a ticket to a world of wealth and prestige. Let's rewind for a moment. Picture America in 1978, a nation of progress, ambition, and pride. And in the quiet corners of everyday life, coins were being minted that would, decades later, turn ordinary collectors into legends. The 1978 Jefferson nickel without a mint mark is one of these miracles of chance. Most nickels from that year carry a D or P mark, but the no mint mark edition? Extremely rare. Scarcity drives desire, and desire drives value. Imagine walking past a jar of nickels at a garage sale, casually flipping through them, and stumbling upon a coin that could transform your life. That thought alone should make your heart race. And if it doesn't, well, maybe you're holding the wrong coin now. Let's get a little playful for a second. Have you ever had one of those moments where you think, this could be worth something, only to dismiss it? Yeah, that's exactly what most people do with coins like this. They see a simple nickel and say, it's just a nickel. But here's the truth: one ordinary-looking coin can outshine a lifetime of stock tips, real estate deals, or lottery tickets. The 1978 no-mint mark Jefferson nickel isn't just a collector's item, it's a financial statement. Owning one signals that you are someone who recognizes value before the world catches on. And let's be honest, wouldn't it feel amazing to be the one holding the card that everyone else wishes they had? But what really sets this coin apart isn't just rarity, it's the story it carries. Every scratch, every luster, every design detail on the Monticello side whispers history, ambition, and the relentless passage of time. Think about it, Thomas Jefferson, the very figure etched on this coin, was a man who saw potential where others saw chaos. And today, that same spirit is embodied in this nickel. Collectors, investors, and wealthy enthusiasts are clamoring for it. There's a quiet urgency that surrounds this coin because its value isn't static, it's climbing, and it's climbing fast. Every day you wait could be a missed opportunity worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, and now, here's where it gets truly exciting. Many of you might be thinking, sure, it's rare, but how can I know if I've stumbled upon one? That's where the thrill begins. Identifying a 1978 no-mint marked Jefferson nickel isn't just about knowing a little numismatics, it's about intuition, experience, and sometimes, luck. And when you finally realize you're holding one of these legendary coins, the excitement is indescribable. Suddenly, the ordinary jar of nickels in your drawer transforms into a vault of possibilities. But don't blink, because missing the signs could mean watching someone else claim what could have been yours. Here's a little secret: the market for these coins is more intense than you might imagine. Millionaires, seasoned collectors, and high net worth investors are circling, ready to make decisive moves. There's no slow and steady here, only those who recognize value immediately will walk away with life-changing wealth. Can you feel that tension? That pulse of opportunity? That's the feeling of standing at the edge of financial transformation. And just when you think you've seen it all, the reality hits. The next opportunity could vanish faster than a blink. Before we reach the climax of this story, consider this: wealth isn't just about accumulating money, it's about recognizing potential, acting decisively, and embracing the thrill of the chase. The 1978 no-mint marked Monticello Jefferson nickel embodies all of this. And right now, as we speak, collectors are making offers that would make your jaw drop. But here's the cliffhanger: one overlooked nickel, sitting quietly in a drawer somewhere in America, could be worth nearly $1 million. Could it be yours? Only those who act, who pay attention, and who seize the moment will know. And if you think this is just a story, think again. History has shown us that ordinary people can become extraordinary overnight when they recognize value where others see nothing. So, what does this mean for you? It means that treasure is closer than you think. It means that the 1978 no-mint marked Jefferson nickel isn't just a coin, it's a symbol of opportunity, wealth, and foresight. And most importantly, it means the time to act is now. Because in the world of rare coins, hesitation can be the difference between a life-changing discovery and a missed fortune. Imagine holding that nickel, knowing its worth, knowing its power, and stepping into a reality where wealth isn't a dream, it's your new standard. And as you consider this, one thought should linger: will you recognize it when it's in your hands, or will you let history pass you by? Imagine holding a piece of American history in the palm of your hand, so small, yet potentially worth more than your car, your home, or even a modest retirement account. Today, we're uncovering the astonishing story of the 1985 mint marked Monticello Thomas Jefferson nickel, a coin so rare, so highly sought after, that its current market value has soared to an incredible $953,000. Yes, you heard that right, almost $1 million, and this isn't a typo or some online gimmick. But here's the twist: most people walk past treasures like this every single day, completely unaware of their life-changing potential. Are you ready to discover how a coin minted decades ago could catapult someone into a world of wealth they never imagined? Stick with me, because by the end of this video, you may never look at your loose change the same way again. The story begins in 1985, at the Philadelphia Mint, where thousands of Jefferson nickels rolled off the press, destined for circulation. Among them, a select few carried a subtle variation, a mint mark that would eventually make history. These weren't flashy gold coins or sparkling diamonds, they were humble, everyday nickels. Yet, like whispers from the past, they carried a hidden value only a discerning eye could recognize. Think about that for a moment. What if the coin you dropped into a parking meter decades ago was quietly appreciating in value while your retirement account struggled to keep up? It's a humbling thought, isn't it? And here's where it gets even more fascinating: these coins weren't mass-produced as rare collectibles. Their scarcity was accidental, almost serendipitous, making them highly coveted in today's market. And now, let's talk about why this coin is so valuable. It's not just the age or the historical significance, it's the story of survival, rarity, and perfection. A mint mark on a nickel might seem trivial, but collectors know that even the slightest anomaly can transform a coin from a mere pocket change to a multi-$100,000 treasure. And here's the kicker: very few 1985p Monticello nickels exist in flawless condition, graded by professional coin experts. This is why demand has skyrocketed, and why savvy collectors, investors, and even wealthy enthusiasts are willing to pay close to $1 million for one. Imagine the excitement, the adrenaline, the sheer thrill of realizing that a small, circular piece of metal could hold the key to financial freedom. And before you think, that's impossible, consider this: ordinary Americans just like you have stumbled upon these coins in drawers, jars, and old piggy banks, sometimes in the most unexpected places. Yes, sometimes while cleaning out grandma's attic or sorting through decades of forgotten change. And speaking of unexpected finds, let me ask you, how often do you check the bottom of your couch cushions for treasure? Because while you're binge-watching your favorite show, someone else is cashing in six-figure fortunes from coins you might have tossed aside. Don't laugh, it happens more than you'd think. But enough teasing, the story gets even more unbelievable. The 1985p Monticello Jefferson nickel isn't just a coin, it's a ticking opportunity. Each moment you wait, someone else is entering the market, driving up the price, and snatching up the remaining pieces of history. The truth is, coins like this rarely stay available for long. They vanish into private collections, investment portfolios, and safe deposit boxes, often never resurfacing for decades. For those with a keen eye and the courage to act, this is the golden moment, a chance to not only own a tangible piece of history but to secure a financial asset that could redefine your life now. Imagine this: decades from now, your children or grandchildren look back at the story of your discovery and realize the fortune you unearthed. That humble nickel, almost forgotten in the pockets of history, becomes the centerpiece of an extraordinary tale, a story of foresight, courage, and timing. But there's one thing to remember: opportunities like this aren't just waiting for anyone. They favor those who recognize them and act decisively. If you own a 1985p Monticello Jefferson nickel, or even suspect you might, the time to understand its value is now. Don't let a moment of hesitation cost you what could be close to $1 million fortune. Before we wrap up, here's the question that keeps seasoned collectors awake at night: what other coins lying in drawers, jars, or forgotten change might hold the same secret potential? Could you be sitting on the next 1985p Monticello Jefferson nickel without even realizing it? Think about it, because in the world of rare coins, history has a way of rewarding those who dare to look a little closer. And remember, if this coin story fascinates you today, just imagine what other treasures are out there waiting for someone with vision, patience, and the courage to act. History, wealth, and opportunity, they all converge in the most unexpected places. Maybe, just maybe, one of those places is closer than you think. If you want, I can also create a detailed minute-by-minute pacing for this 10-minute video with cues for visuals, text overlays, and emotional beats to maximize retention and engagement. The moment you hold a coin in your hand, it's not just metal and design, it's a portal to history, a whisper from the past, and in some rare cases, a ticket to unimaginable wealth. Imagine this: a single USA 1982p mint mark Monticello Thomas Jefferson nickel coin, sitting quietly in a drawer, suddenly revealing a value that could change your life forever. Today, we're diving deep into this extraordinary coin, a piece so rare and so coveted, it commands a jaw-dropping market value of $963,000. Yes, you heard that right, almost $1 million for a single nickel. And the question you must ask yourself is, what if one of these is sitting quietly in your collection, waiting for you to discover its true potential? From the moment it was struck in 1982, the Monticello Jefferson nickel was intended to honor one of America's greatest presidents. Its design captures the elegance of Monticello, Jefferson's iconic home, but within this unassuming nickel lies a secret. A minting error, a rare variation, has transformed ordinary currency into a treasure that collectors and investors alike are willing to fight over. Picture yourself at an auction, the room tense, hearts pounding, as the gavel comes down and this very nickel, your nickel, is sold for nearly $1 million. The excitement is electric, the stakes unimaginably high. And here's the part most people overlook: these coins are vanishing fast. Every year, collectors discover hidden gems, and every year, the supply of these rare treasures shrinks. Can you afford to wait? Now, let's pause for a moment. How often do you think a nickel could outperform your investments, your retirement fund, even your wildest financial dreams? It sounds absurd, doesn't it? A tiny coin, smaller than your thumbnail, holding the potential to deliver life-changing wealth. But that's the reality for those who understand the hidden world of rare coins. This is more than numismatics, it's strategy, vision, and the ability to recognize value where others see only spare change. And here's a little secret, the 1982p mint mark Monticello nickel isn't just rare, it's in demand like never before. Collectors are hunting, investors are bidding, and the clock is ticking. There's a reason this nickel commands nearly $1 million today. It's not just about scarcity, it's about provenance, condition, and the meticulous craftsmanship that made this coin an anomaly. Each detail, from the precise contours of Monticello to the exact placement of the mint mark, can elevate its value exponentially. Imagine, just for a moment, that you find one in perfect condition. Your heart races. You think, could this really be worth almost $1 million? And the answer, my friends, is yes. But only if you act, and act wisely. Hesitation in the rare coin market can cost you everything. The market for rare coins has exploded in recent years. Collectors with deep pockets, investors seeking alternative assets, and enthusiasts with a keen eye for history, they all converge on the same pieces. And the 1982p Monticello nickel? It's the crown jewel. It's not just a coin, it's a symbol of prestige, financial insight, and the foresight to recognize an opportunity before it disappears. And speaking of disappearing, have you ever thought about how many of these coins were minted versus how many have survived in pristine condition? The numbers are startling. The scarcity alone is enough to drive the value through the roof, but add in the current market frenzy, and you're looking at a once-in-a-lifetime chance. But let's slow down and consider the story behind the coin. Imagine Thomas Jefferson himself, standing over the designs, unaware that nearly 2 centuries later, his home and visage would make one of the most valuable nickels in history. That connection to history adds an emotional weight to the coin. You're not just holding money, you're holding legacy, culture, and the thrill of discovery. Every auction, every appraisal, every whispered conversation among elite collectors is infused with that excitement. And here's the cliffhanger that keeps the market alive: the moment you hesitate, someone else swoops in, claiming the treasure that could have been yours. Why now? You're probably asking yourself, how do I know if I have one? How do I make sure I don't miss out? That's where knowledge meets action. Understanding mint marks, the rare variations, and the nuances that distinguish a $500,000 coin from an everyday nickel is crucial. It's about recognizing opportunity and having the courage to seize it. And here's the truth: very few people will ever own one of these. But for those who do, the rewards are nothing short of extraordinary. A coin may be small, but its power is immense. The 1982p Monticello Thomas Jefferson nickel is more than an artifact, it's a key, a symbol, a potential life-changer. Every day, collectors and investors are discovering the magic hidden in plain sight, and every day, the window to acquire one shrinks. The excitement, the urgency, the thrill of uncovering something priceless, it's all real. And when you finally hold that coin, knowing it could be worth $963,000, you'll realize that sometimes, fortune really does favor the bold. So, as you look around your home, your collection, even that dusty drawer you've ignored for years, ask yourself, could the next $1 million discovery be right under your nose? History is calling. Opportunity is knocking. And the question is, will you answer? If you want, I can also create a time-stamped breakdown showing exactly what visuals, B-roll, and on-screen graphics to pair with each paragraph so that your 10-minute faceless video flows perfectly and keeps viewers glued until the very end. It would make the script production ready.